Yeah. Week's End with Ryan
Week's
and
End.
Graeme.
Week's
Yeah,
End.
baby. Here we go.
Week's in for the win! Exclamation
Yes.
point, smiley face, rocket emoji. All right.
I think I just did Shooter McGavin there.
Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
little too
Nice.
that was a little too real.
That's all right. I get made of for doing the thumb dance by my wife, so
Yes.
it's. I've tried to keep the thumbs to a minimum with our show because I don't want to alienate our tens of viewers. So, welcome to the show, everybody. It's Week's End. I'm your buddy, the Rab. This is Graeme Nose, otherwise known as the nerdy duo. So, what you got? What you got today? How you feeling with this week?
You know, I took a day off in the middle to volunteer at my camp, which was really nice. Got to work with the kids, which is always just fantastic. But it was one of those things where and actually check this out. So I actually made a little takeaway of the lake. This has the actual lake water in it, a little bit of the bottom of the lake, and sealed it with plastic, used heat to. Anyway, I'm a nerd. So all I did was take one day off. I mean, I was out of the office for like 6.5 hours, dude. I came home, Slack had exploded, my inbox was exploding. I'm like, what? Like, we gotta get better at this, people.
I know.
But other than that, it was a good week, and it was nice to take a little time off right in the middle. How about you, buddy? How's your week been?
You know what? I'm just happy it's the week's end, but we do have some cool things to talk about, and
we do.
Partly, there's some work-related things I wanted to bring up. I know that we sort of, you and I have some really at times stressful jobs, but there's some really cool stuff that happens too. So I wanted to just start out talking about a couple things. One is that we've talked about space so much on Week's End, and today we kind of had worlds collide at work, right? And
we did.
You and I got the chance to talk to a couple of people that are in the industry, as they say.
We did. We got to talk to Dr. Larry Kennedy, our old friend from the systems engineering shows and COSI and such, and Rod Piles, space historian. We got to talk Apollo and shuttle and all kinds of cool stuff, man. It made me very happy. I was over here giddy. Right there. I was sitting right there. I know. I was very happy.
So those are the shows that are awesome that we do with IBM, and really I'm proud of that stuff because I love how IBM's role in space, whether Larry was there for Apollo 11. We've heard his story. If you haven't heard it, Google Larry Kennedy and IBM. And then Rod apparently is on his 17th book about space history. Like crazy.
Wow.
Crazy stuff.
I feel like every time you use the phrase "in space," you have to say it like "in space."
Yes. You really should. I think it's required. It's
like we had a really great conversation about satellites that are in space. Well, now I'm doing like a yogurt.
Yes. Yeah.
Spaceballs. Oh my God, what's happening? Take us through the agenda.
Spaceballs, the cake pan. Okay, let's talk about this for a second. So on a previous episode, we talked about pizza skulls.
We did.
I just want to say it's happening. It's happening, people. It's happening. I have a haunted skillet pan now that is made from the finest bronzed finish from our fine friends at Nordic Ware. They've been in business since World War II. They took their knowledge of metal and transferred it to the important task of baking pizza skulls.
Incredible.
So
we're going to have VJ Day, by the way, as anniversary of the end of the war.
There you go.
Throwing it out there.
Fitting. So America-owned, family-owned company, which is great. And this, you can do cupcakes as well, but I want to make pizza skulls. So we're going to do that on a future episode, and we might have a special guest for that because I've been talking to one of our friends that works in marketing at Starbucks, and she's very intrigued by this.
Interesting.
So we might have it's almost PSL season, I think. So pumpkin spice latte for those of you that are not in the cult.
So it has already started here, by the way, with Duncan's already has it going. And I was just like, oh man, here we go.
Nice. Oh boy. So speaking of Rod Pyle, I have a Rod Pyle tie-in that's somewhat book related. So let me see if I can reach over here. I don't know if my headset will reach. I'm going to take it off for a moment.
Okay. While Ryan is gone, today we will be commenting. Oh wait, no, never mind. He's back.
So Rod
God,
wrote
look
this
at your
book.
baby Yoda shirt. I love it.
Hang on. Rod Pyle wrote a book called Blueprint for a Battlestar, which is not space history. It's science fiction, I guess. But he basically took, serious scientific explanations behind science fiction's greatest innovations, which I love the book. It's really cool and geeky. I got a new book, and I think we mentioned this on the show, but this came in the mail this week. What?
Me likey. Oh, that's super cool. And that reminds me, my friend Barney used to have a book called Starfleet Prototypes that was really cool.
So this
Ships
is like
of the Line.
Yeah, Ships of the Line. This reminds me of the Star Trek. You remember those calendars, Star Trek Ships of the Line?
Oh, yeah.
So this is just like that, except it's every ship in the new and the old show.
Okay, that's super cool.
So, and here's another geeky tie-in. I tweeted out how excited I was about this book this week, and I tagged a few people, some that are related to the cast from the Ron D. Moore series. But there's also an active podcast going on for Battlestar Galactica now called the Galacticast. And they are also looking at the book. So, potential crossover with Weeks In. Maybe we can talk shop with some.
That could be fun.
Some BSG folks.
I like that.
So, what else we got? Let's switch gears.
What do you got?
I got something.
Screen sharing, mofo.
Let's screen some shares and share some screens.
Let's screen some shares.
Screen in some shares. So here we go. So this one, what the heck, man?
Okay. So this was so weird. I know that there's this whole thing about the last Blockbuster, right?
Yeah.
And I guess they're temporarily turning it into an Airbnb or listed on Airbnb, so you can actually like sleep in the last Blockbuster for a night and have like a, movie watching. And I mean, it really has that Blockbuster look and feel. But this was the first time Blockbuster's Twitter account, I forget what it was, since like 2014 or something. This was the first time they'd tweeted. And so immediately the I See Dead people just instantly came to my mind because I was like, what the fuck? Where did these guys just come from? And then a couple of hours later, they're like, all right, we've seen enough. We're done. And then that was it. They were done. But yeah, man, Blockbuster popped up. You remember Blockbuster? Like, I remember
I do, but here's my mini rant is that I kind of hated Blockbuster, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, I want to hear this.
I mean, in the video age, when we used to go to a store and browse the aisles and rent, they were one of the companies that created like the membership program, and the whole thing was like you had your Blockbuster card, and then they would, you would get points and all that stuff that sort of started that kind of approach to retail.
Yeah.
But they towards the end, maybe not even towards the end, my memory's not so good, but the rules were like rigged to get you to pay extra fees and all kinds. So I just have a bad taste in my mouth with the way that Blockbuster went out. And I much preferred going to like the mom and pop hole in the wall video places.
So I definitely preferred those ones as well. They were better. The bad taste in your mouth is actually from eating too many Mike and Ikes that you probably bought when you rented the movies. But
right.
I don't know. I just look back. I mean, I had a friend who worked at a Blockbuster. I don't know, man. I mean, I have fond memories, but my real fond memories, and if anybody who grew up in Northampton, Massachusetts happens to watch this, on King Street was Advanced Video. I used to go to Advanced Video. That was the shit. Oh, there it is. There's the Airbnb. You can see it right there. So, I mean, like, that's cool, man. That like it's going out with its dying breath, last gasp for attention here. Now that is your life.
That's totally. That's 90s. They've even got a
marquee sign.
Well, the marquee. I'm looking at the TV. It's got a square TV.
Coming soon. Yeah, that's quality. Look at those sheets, dude. That is. Now, what would you call that? Would you call that 80s or 90s? Because I think I'd call that 90s.
I think this is 90s. I think this is like your mom's house that is in the 90s and it still has 80s elements that haven't been updated yet.
Yeah, somebody the other day on Twitter was sharing. It was designs of carpets that used to be in arcades, and that's one of them.
Yeah. Oh, look,
Wow.
they've got a,
Oh, is
they've
that
got
a
a
DeLorean?
They've got a DeLorean
and the
parked
bikes.
outside. So this is all very intentional, and I love the nostalgic feel of it. You've got your forehead hi-fi, VHS here and all that, but I still just I don't know, man. Blockbuster. Okay. We'll just I'll let it go with that.
Let it go, but I would legit buy I don't even care if it was blank. There was nothing on the VHS. I would buy the last Blockbuster VHS tape with that case just as a collectible. That would be cool. So, hey, okay, Blockbuster, I'm sure all of your past and present executives obviously are tuning into this show. So for all of you Fortune 500 or formerly Fortune 500 execs, or hey, maybe you're an executive at Netflix. If you're listening, make those VHS tape cases because I would buy them as a collectible. So and what happens on week's end echoes in reality. So just saying.
We'll see.
Just saying. I mean, I know they listen.
We'll see.
I know they watch.
We'll see. All right. So I was kind of intrigued by this because there's a lot of like crossover now between like the tech world and the entertainment world. And there always is with social media campaigns. But I thought it was interesting that NASA is highlighting, what would Beck do with AI? I'm not quite sure what the tie-in is with Mars, but they're actually asking for everybody else to give them ideas. So maybe they're going to take the ideas and like remix it with alt rock or something. I'm not quite sure yet, but
I don't know. Now I just have a devil's haircut on my mind.
Exactly. It's a space to watch, folks. It's a space to watch. All right. Let's move on to another story, which I thought was interesting. And it's only because I love this movie so much. And I've got the entire series of the books for Scott Pilgrim. And the movie turned 10 yesterday, 10 years. So these are some behind the scenes photos that Edgar Wright shared on Twitter yesterday that you can't get anywhere else. Oh my gosh. Really?
I've never seen it.
Put it on your list, my friend. Put it on your list.
It has been on the list for a long time. This is one of those ones. This and can't think of the other one, but yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show you.
I love Edgar Wright. I mean,
so behind me. So the artist, if you're wondering, everybody at home. So the book. I need to get off of Twitter for a second. So Brian Lee OMalley is the original like comic book artist. So the series that the movie is based on is 6 books that are in like the Japanese sort of small book format size.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Even though they are like front, you do read it front to back, but this is the original kind of art that Scott Pilgrim is based on. But the movie, highly recommend. It has some nice cameos. It's very arcade, nerd friendly, all that kind of stuff. Hits all the right spots.
I gotta. I don't know. There's no reason I haven't seen it.
There's some definite. There's some definite catchphrases that you're going to walk away from that you're going to be saying over and over again as well. So
okay, good. Well, I like that. That already makes it more attractive to me.
Okay, so let's. I don't know. You're trying to skip. Look, 2020 has been rough, and you keep bringing me these articles about death and destruction. But tell me why it's fascinating. Tell me why it's fascinating and not terrifying. Let's do that.
I don't know. Which one are you sharing? Because I don't see it on the screen yet.
Oh, you don't see it on the screen yet. So maybe I should fix.
We're new to this.
Maybe I should fix that.
So man, I love this stuff. Like anything that's like nuclear war games, continuity of government kind of stuff. I mean, I think it's partly because we grew up in the 80s, right? So it was like Red Dawn and Day After and By Dawn's Early Light and Rebecca De Mornay and all that business. So this one was really cool because this kind of went through, well, it's funny because there's a lot that they admit they don't know and it's all classified and everything. But this was all about like what's the plan for surviving, a catastrophic nuclear war, and then there was a follow-up article that I read that actually digs into President Reagan's briefings, and even furthermore, what are you doing, dude? You're just skipping through all this stuff.
Well, I was trying to find the follow-up article, but keep talking.
I'm just trying to talk, and you're like jumping through our agenda.
All right.
But yeah, man, I just like that stuff. So those are some really cool articles I recommend people read. But reading about how President Reagan was briefed in on what are some of the plans in the event of, nuclear war, but also they talk about these war games that I had never heard about that were really, really fascinating, where they actually practice the procedures that they would go through. And I don't know, man, I just love that stuff. I just think it's really interesting. And then I read another article that I included for you today that talks about sort of how luck has been a pretty substantial factor in nuclear accidents. So they actually talk about the Goldsboro, I think it is, North Carolina incident, where the plane crashed and dropped 2 nuclear weapons, and one of them, 4 out of the 5 switches. That's the article. 4. You can find all of these, by the way, at Graeme Knows. You can get these articles, folks. And 4 out of the 5 switches went, and the last switch was the equivalent of like an on-off switch on your wall for a lamp. I mean, it was like this close to a thermonuclear device going off in North Carolina. Now, I don't really know anybody that lives in North Carolina, so I don't think anybody would care. But the point is, these articles are really fascinating, and I want to highly recommend you read them.
That was not in our civics class in 5th grade, so I just want to tell you that. I'm disappointed.
No, in fact, that's an interesting point, Ryan, because there's a really great book by Eric Schlosser, I think his name is, called Command and Control, which goes into a lot more of these. Absolutely fascinating book. Highly recommend it. It was also I think you can get it on Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatnot. It's also a really good documentary about the Damascus incident, and I also recommend people check that out. I love that stuff, man. End of the world stuff, man.
Man,
it's all going down, man. End of the fucking world.
So. I guess so, man. I don't know. I am fascinated by it too, and you know that my main 80s thing was that I wanted to be a member of the Wolverines, and live in the woods and whatnot.
Wolverines, bro.
I get it. I totally get it.
So the funny thing is like I like to think I would have been part of the Wolverines, and I totally would have been fine. I would have cried for sushi within the first 45 minutes. I would have been absolutely miserable not having an air-conditioned room to sleep in. And I would have been like eating Twix. I mean, it just would have been terrible.
All right. You have an ad that I think we're going to show, right? There's an ad about a library.
Yeah. So this is another thing, folks, you can get at Graeme Knows on the Twitter. This was adorable. Now, I don't know the history of it. I know it's legit. I went to the website, like it's a real library. It's the real deal. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if they hired an agency or somebody just like had a really clever kid. But this is a really cute ad, and it sort of made me think of like the silly like used car salesman ads we used to see when we were kids, where it was like, "Come on down, I've got a deer. We'll outrun your car when you're on a test drive. I'm Crazy Eddie," kind of stuff. Right. And this ad is fun. It's just brilliant. Fun. And we need more fun content. Like, look at that.
Yes, we do. I mean, we do. It reminds me of the security. There was like the security guard for the National History Museum who started a Twitter account. Like this was 27.
Yes,
this was like 6 months ago in real time, but like feels like it was 27 years ago.
Yes.
In internet time.
Oh, that's my favorite part, though, what it costs. I love those. Like zero.
Curbside pickup. No, I love it. This is awesome. I love it.
Highly recommend. Check it out. Share it, folks. Everybody needs a little laugh. It's good stuff.
All right. So I wanted to talk about this for a second because I think it's interesting / cool. And this was a good version. People have been putting out, of course, memes about 2020. This one is saying, you started this way in January and you ended up this way, within, next month is September, of course. So within 9 months, what's your progression? In this case, Drew took it, and each square is animated in this GIF, in this video file, to show all of the people from Clue, right?
Yep.
The progression. But a lot of these are showing it's like the old meme that, freshman year, senior year, that kind of thing. But I think these are funny.
I love those. There's a whole bunch of them, and I just love all of them.
I don't quite know.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
So I'm going to stop that before we go insane. However, this is Star Wars set to Cardi B sounds.
I've got to see that. That is a link I'm going to need. Oh my God, dude. I can't hear it, but I can imagine.
Oh, you can't hear it. My bad. Okay.
No, it doesn't play through. But I mean,
right.
I can guess.
Oh my God. I'm gonna put this in the show notes. But this, you could, I don't know. This is not for everybody and not for the faint of heart. But it gave me a chuckle for a minute. We've already talked about Mr. Library, man. Let's talk about Tron.
Oh, Tron. Okay, so I love Tron. I mean, the original movie blew my mind away as a kid. I have seen it, I don't know, twice a year for my whole life minimum. I thought Tron Legacy was fantastic. My kids and I loved it. There he is. Loved it. Thought it was I just really, really great sequel. If you've never played it, you can get it on Steam. I highly recommend Tron 2.0. Fantastic first-person shooter video game. Came out, I mean, I don't even know, 15 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever. It is still just as good now. And the only thing I wish they would do is make a VR version of it, because that is a world that I would love to get lost in. Brings us to recently. Well, actually, let's take a step back. So they were talking about Tron 3 not too long after Legacy came out.
Yep.
And there was another movie that came out, and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head right now. It's driving me crazy. I'm sure my kids would know. But there was another movie that came out that didn't do very well. And because of that, it had nothing to do with Tron, but because that movie failed, Disney Studios decided not to do Tron 3. Mm-hmm. And the end of Tron Legacy sets you up for a sequel.
Sure.
Korra's come into the real world. Clue is prepared to bring his army into the real world. So there's supposed to be this big crossover event. Didn't happen. Well, guess what, programs and fellow users?
For the users. Happening. It's for the users, right?
We fight for the users.
We fight for the users.
It's happening. So get your light cycles ready, because it's coming at you. And everyone's freaking out that Jared Leto is going to be in it. I got to tell you, I'm cool with that. I what I didn't know, and I was lucky enough to learn from my friend Gavin, who's just film knowledge is unmatchable. I didn't know Jared Leto's just this total dirtbag in real life. Sorry to hear that. That sucks. Anyway, back to the movie. I think he'll be great. And I'm really, really, really excited to see them bring Tron 3 back.
Well, I think
from being
so. Here's my thing on Jared. I'm not going to trash Jared, because you can.
I don't know him.
You can judge his work for what it is. He's a method actor, and so when people allow him to do his thing, good things happen. I mean, there's all the controversy around what happened with the Suicide Squad, and he was going to be the new Joker and all that. But you know what? He is invested. No matter what you get from him, he's invested. So
I think about the last Blade Runner movie that came out, and right. He was that weird sort of cyber Jesus character, and I thought that was excellent. I loved him in Suicide Squad. I thought his take on the Joker. Now, I know that is a movie where he was particularly awful to his castmates. That's terrible. Again, putting that part aside, I thought his Joker was brilliantly psychotic. I almost
Well,
mutant. I mean, I thought it was really good.
Here's the thing. I'm on his side in that I feel like, and this is another mini rant of mine, is like DC and Warner Brothers cannot get their act together with like rebooting everything over and over again. And I thought he could have done a Joker movie and it would have killed, in my mind.
I think so.
But I think there was too much contractual drama with like Will Smith and Margie, whatever, with Margot Robbie or whoever, right?
I don't know all the backstories. I just know I like the film, and I just know I'm excited about Tron 3, and Tron is one of my most favorite things of all movies of all that genre, and I'm just really excited about it. So,
and that is good. Okay, so there's a tweet, and I don't know what this tweet's about here.
So this is really funny. So blow the image up. This is a shot, and I instantly remember thinking this.
Oh, yeah.
No joke, when I first saw the movie. So Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, when they finally make it into the cave where the brother of Arimathea, whatever it is, one of those knights is waiting, and they finally found where the Holy Grail is, and they have to choose, and it's all cups and grails, but then there's like this fucking plate sitting there, and I remember I remember thinking like, what? Why is there a plate? So hadn't thought about that in a long time. I've seen this movie once in a while. I mean, I love Indiana Jones too, man. I mean, these are another one of these movies when they're on TV, it's like click, it's on, and I just leave it on. But somebody actually said it. So this person here said, you think anybody ever fell for the plate in the Grail room? Old night guy would just be like rolling on the floor laughing, who picks the plate? And it's so true. So I got a kick out of this. And you can actually see there's another plate in the background.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It looks like there's like a platinum sombrero like in the corner or something like that.
Dude, there's like an iPhone. I mean, there's all kinds of weird stuff in there. So it's just hilarious.
Spielberg is known for his Easter eggs. Let's be honest.
I'm sure there was a reason.
All right. So
what's next?
Let's talk about filmmaking some more. Okay. So Avatar 2, apparently, even though this picture is tiny on your screen, has a ginormous set.
Yeah. Now I'm old enough to remember Avatar. For all of you younglings out there who may be tuning into the show, there was a movie that came out I think it came out in 1960 something called Avatar. It was a 10-hour epic made by James Cameron after he made Titanic, Titanic 2 Electric Boogaloo, and Titanic 3 Back from the Deep. And Avatar was crazy. It's a movie about, I don't know, but it was a visual extravaganza.
Well, imagine people.
They're making 5 more or something, right?
Imagine people that are about your height, which is to say like 9 to 10 feet tall. And then imagine people that are that tall, but their skin, like, imagine your shirt, but all over. Right. So that's kind of what it's about, but
I don't know what just happened there.
Yeah.
I don't know why my instinct was to, I don't know. But you know what? I mean, honestly, I've seen it too many times. I really enjoyed Avatar when I first saw it. I thought I thought it pretty much lived up to the hype. I mean, it being the greatest blockbuster ever, no. But it being a great, I love James Cameron's work. The Abyss is one of my favorite movies.
Oh, yeah.
I love Titanic. I have no problem saying that. Terminator 2, Terminator, I don't know why I did those reversed, and on and on and on. I mean, we could sit here, pick a movie of his, and I like it. Even his documentaries about his oceanographic explorations. Anything James Cameron, I dig it. My thing with Avatar is it had some stuff that was very forced and very cheesy, and the plot was predictable, but like that's what we do, right? We go and conquer and ruin everything. So, yeah. I'm excited to see where these movies are going, and it was cool to see him on set. If you click through to the other photos, it shows him on the set, and that was fun to see. And I'm excited to see Avatar 2, Big Blue, Avatar 3, Party on Na'vi, and Avatar 4 through 6, which I understand is a 3-part extravaganza where they actually go back in time and they're on the Titanic, which I don't know how that's going to work. But
I heard a vicious rumor. There's been an effort underway for decades to reboot the Police Academy series, and there were about 27 of those films, and so the idea here is that after Avatar 2 and 3 film concurrently, that they sort of merge those universes and pick up the series and sort of give a new flavor to the Police Academy series, which I think is long overdue.
You know, Police Academy is one of those movies that when you go back and watch it, you're like, oh my God, is that out of control offensive? It's like Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, it's like
that movie is so rapey, it's disgusting.
Everybody's drunk. Everybody while they're filming it and on camera, I guess. I don't know. But
so many of those movies that you're like, ha ha ha, funny in the 80s, and you go back and watch it, you're like, what the hell?
Exactly, Mundo. All right. That is all of our stories for today, but I have two more things I want to say. I think, well, wait a minute. I keep trying to cut you off, but I know you've got a rant simmering there somewhere, and it has something to do with the phone this week or something. I don't know. Tell me about, you're having phone problems is what I heard. That's the rumor.
I was having phone problems. So I had a Galaxy S9 Plus, very, very reliable phone. I loved it. I had it for a few years. I dropped it a couple of times because I'm an idiot, broke the screen, finally got to the point where it was like a mess. I had to get rid of it. So for my rant this week, I'm going to rant about my replacement, which is the Samsung A71, R71? I don't know, A71 5G. Now, cool. 5G has the same digits as the SR71 Blackbird, so I'm cool. I thought that would be cool. This thing has the worst battery I've ever seen. It is dead within a couple of hours. So I made the joke that tired, its battery goes too quickly, but wired, it charges really fast. Get it when it's wired. Sure, but that is really cool. So it's got a very fast charging. The thing charges in like half an hour to an hour. It's got a full charge. So I had to get this thing.
You have a replacement
carry around, which is this giant brick that acts as a backup battery.
Right.
So I got to tell you, I was that's my rant. Like, what the? Like, this battery sucks.
The good news is that battery serves as like a space warmer for your belt.
Well, that's true. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wear the phone and this belt clip and the battery backup and this belt clip, and then I'm going to tie them together with wires that actually make a belt. Because let me tell you, if there's one thing that the Gen X Dude Crew does, we use cell phone belt clips.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I was about to say. You're getting to the age where you ought to consider investing in one of those cool sideway pleather, like, you know.
Yeah, where the phone sits like this.
Yeah.
Where it clips in and then turns. Oh, hell yeah.
And you know, you can swirl, you know, you can like swivel if you need to, if it's uncomfortable when you're in the restaurant or what have you.
There, man.
Yeah, man. I think you've earned it. I think you've earned that level of like sophistication. And, you know, but I think I'm ready. You told me though that you have a backup phone in case this one the battery dies. I
do. So I have. So this is my convenient. You can see it again. Right. That is my A71. But I have this as a backup phone that I also carry around. Whoops, and it's good. It's got good range. I can talk on it. Look, son, if you can't talk, just key your mic 3 times. So I can do platoon quotes while I'm talking to my friends. It's a good phone.
Wait a minute, Graeme.
It's a good phone.
I'm getting a call.
You get
I'm getting a call. So
who is it?
Why don't I patch you in?
Patch me in. Hello?
All right. Hey everybody. This is like our new hotline. Hey, this is Ryan. You've got Ryan and Graeme. Who's on the line? Oh
my God, Gary! Oh, that's great. How you doing, buddy?
It feels like it's been a while.
Yeah. So, Gary, you're calling in from Cincinnati? Nope, I'm sorry, St. Louis. St. Louis today. Wow, that's really great. You travel a lot. By the way, folks, Gary is our #1 fan. Right. Really, really, really good guy.
So, Gary, what do you have big plans this weekend?
You're going to sit around and watch back episodes of Week's End? That's great. We love to hear that.
We love to hear that. Yeah. Well, look, Gary, we're in the middle of a show right now. Yeah. So if you don't mind, maybe we can catch up, you know, after Week's End.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Okay.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks for calling in, Gary. We love you.
Love you too, buddy. All right. Yeah. No, the check's in the mail. Okay. That
Golly.
was really nice. It was nice of Gary to call in.
Yeah. It feels like
It's nice.
you know, I don't know. Gary, he has his idiosyncrasies. How do you say that word? Idiosyncrasies.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm in marketing. I don't do words.
Got it. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're clearly delirious at this point, and we may have to end the show. But I just want to close out by saying, Happy Friday. I also want to show off some new swag. I have added to the child Baby Yoda wardrobe that I have. I think I have enough in my Baby Yoda wardrobe now to wear a new shirt every day of the week. So,
okay. My parting thought will be to quote Parker Selfridge from Avatar and just say, "Look at all that cheddar." My favorite line for the movie.
Nice. All righty, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh,
have a great weekend. And
Gotta
dance. Don't remember to take a moment.
Yeah.
Put your phone down. Put your laptop down and just dance.
Yeah.